Unit 5, Green Skills. Introduction. The environment around us affects all aspects of our life, and all our day to day activities also affect the environment. Those who live in cities get their food supply from surrounding villages and in turn are dependent on forest, grassland, rivers, seashores for resources such as water, fuel wood, fodder, etc. We use natural resources for food. Everything around us forms our environment, and our lives depend on the natural world around us. Over the years, with economic development, there has been an increase in environmental pollution. For example, with the introduction of high input agriculture, we can grow more food by using fertilizers, pesticides, and hybrid crops. But it has led to soil and environmental degradation. We need to plan the use of resources in a sustainable manner so that we and our future generations can enjoy the good environment. Session 1, Sustainable Development. We are planting more trees or we are only destroying them for our use? Are we saving the water resources or just polluting them with garbage? Are we using clean energy or we are just burning wood and petrol and adding to pollution? Are we giving back to nature so that our future generations may thrive, or are we simply using the air, water, and soil available without leaving anything for the future generations to come? If the answer to all these questions is yes, then we are only thinking about our immediate development and not the long term development. What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is the development that satisfies the needs of the present without compromising the capacity of future generations, guaranteeing the balance between economic growth, care for the environment, and social well being. Importance of sustainable development. Economic development is using up resources of the world so quickly that our future generations, the young people of this world, would have serious environmental problems, much worse than those that we are facing at present. With increasing population and income, the consumption of goods is increasing day by day. This has led to increase in production and utilization of natural resources which are required for producing goods. Society must thus change its development strategy to a new form where development will not destroy the environment. This form of sustainable development can only be brought about if each individual practices a sustainable lifestyle. Since most of the natural resources are scarce, therefore, careful utilization of resources is necessary. Sustainable development is defined as development that meets the need of present generation plus without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs, and this was given by World Commission on Environment and Development in 1987. For example, sustainable agriculture consists of environment friendly methods of farming that allow only the production of agricultural crops or livestock without damage to human or natural system. It also improves the quality. It also involves preventing the use of chemicals so as to avoid adverse effects to soil, water, and biodiversity, because if we use chemicals in a very long run, then it can cause hazardous diseases if it goes into the human's body, and of course it can harm the environment. Then we have few problems related to sustainable development. Three major problems related to sustainable development are: first is food. The amount of rich, fertile land needed to grow crops such as wheat, rice, etc. is becoming less. As we are using up more and more land for other purposes, soil nutrients are also getting depleted, and lots of chemicals are spoiling the soil due to use of chemical fertilizers. So the first problem is food. The second problem is water. If we use fresh water from rivers and ponds for drinking and cleaning but dump garbage into them, the rivers and ponds are getting polluted. This way, after several years, we will have no clean water for our use. So, water is also a problem which is related to sustainable development and which we have to look into. The third is fuel. We are using a lot of wood from trees as fuels for construction of homes and furnitures, and more trees are being cut. It is affecting the climate of the place. Extreme weather conditions such as floods, extreme cold or heat are seen in many places, which affect the people living there. So fuel is also a problem which we have to look into under sustainable development. An environment friendly way of production of power is using solar energy or energy from the sun, which is unlimited. So the environment friendly way for producing of power and solar energy is the energy from the sun, which is unlimited. That means we are talking about the renewable sources of energy which cannot get finished and which is beneficial to mankind. One major example of large scale production of solar power is seen in Charanka, that is in Gujarat. It is a solar park. This barren land with wild vegetation has a mega solar power plant of 600 megawatts. This has reduced the dependence of non-renewable fossil fuels in Gujarat. The people of Charanka have benefited as they have good source of income, and this will also help future generations in next 40 to 45 or 50 years maybe to come. And so this is a very good initiative, and this shows that how it is helpful. And in Gujarat now people are dependent on this solar plant, which is a renewable source of energy instead of other non renewable fossil fuels which are continuously depleting. Then sustainable development includes reducing excessive use of resources and enhancing resource conservation, recycling and reuse of waste material, scientific management of renewable resources, especially bioresources, planting more and more trees. So these were few points which are related to sustainable development. Few other are green grassy patches and trees to be interspread between concrete buildings, using more environment friendly material or biodegradable material, and use of technologies which are environment friendly and based on efficient use of resources. So whatever the method that we are following under this sustainable development, it should not harm the environment. The main aim of this, it should be development with taking care of the environment. It should not harm the environment. Then SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call for action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy peace and prosperity. The Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs) were launched at United Nations Sustainable Development Summit in New York in September 2015, and it was formed the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. It has set targets that the countries should work towards and achieve by 2030. It has made 17 SDGs, sustainable development goals, which have been made with the aim to take care of important issues facing business, governments and societies. Some of these includes are poverty, gender equality, water use, energy, climate change, biodiversity, etc. Countries are now making policies and regulations that will promote sustainable systems needed in all economic sectors to provide a secure, affordable and sustainable economy. These are 17 goals to transform our world which are given by sustainable development. These are: first is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. These were the 17 goals which were defined by Sustainable Development Team and aims to follow them, make policy so that we can transform our world by 2030. The core skill required by a person who wants to contribute towards the environment includes environmental awareness and willingness to learn about sustainable development. If we are responsible about our life, then we will do our best at home, in school, and at workplace to help the environment and people around us. Sustainable Development Initiative. When plastics were banned by the Municipal Corporation of Mangalore, a city in Karnataka, an innovator and entrepreneur, Mr. Avast Hedge, found an eco-friendly alternative. Mr. Avast Hedge found an eco-friendly alternative. He made 100% biodegradable bag which can dissolve in hot water and decompose in natural environment. This is now being used in many countries and is ongoing to help the environment. Another innovative idea was to stop the use of plastic spoons, forks, etc. Narayana Pisapati made edible cutlery made out of a grain. These spoons can be eaten, and even if they are not eaten, they will easily decompose in soil, enriching it. Sustainable process. Some practices such as organic farming, vermicomposting, and rainwater harvesting are being used to help preserve the environment. Organic farming is where farmers do not use chemical pesticides and fertilizers to increase their production. They use organic and natural fertilizers such as cow dung to help in growing crops. This helps in better quality chemical free crops while at the same time maintaining the soil quality for future use. This is a true example of sustainable development where we are not only using the earth resources but are also preserving it for future generations. Then we have a exercise multiple choice questions. How many sustainable development goals are given by the United Nations? Option B 17. Choose the option which defines sustainable development. Option C, taking care of ourselves as well as the future generations. Option C. Third, which organization has made the sustainable development goals? Option A, United Nations. Then subjective questions. What is the meaning of sustainable development? A sustainable development is the development in which we take care of ourselves, our needs. Also, we are not compromising with the future generation needs. Why do you think the United Nations has made the 17 sustainable development goals? In order to improve the quality of the environment, in order to preserve the life, and to make the economy green, because the economy which follows sustainable development ideologies and practices is called the green economy.